What's up guys, I'm Paul and welcome to my channel. Now in this video we're going to be reviewing one of the world's most unique and versatile e-commerce platforms / tools, Ecwid. And this is because Ecwid not only allows you to build a standalone e-commerce website, but it can also be used to integrate with other platforms such as WordPress and Wix to bring e-commerce functionality to these website builders. So it certainly is a unique proposition and it's going to be interesting to see if it's any good or not. Now to test if it is any good, we're going to be looking at 7 different things in this video. We're going to be looking at the pricing, a quick summary of the features, a quick overview of how easy the platform is to use, what the theme selection and customization options are like, what the store management is like, the support options are available for you as the user, and finally a quick look at the hosting environment that the Ecwid platform is based on before giving my final thoughts at the end of the video. So make sure you stick around because I'm going to be covering lots of different things in this video to see whether or not Ecwid is a good and viable e-commerce platform. So with the introduction out of the way, let's get this review started by jumping into my computer. Not literally, obviously, just on screen. So as I said, the first thing we're going to be looking at is the pricing of the Ecwid platform, and Ecwid actually offers 4 packages for its users. The first one is a completely free package, and this actually replaces the conventional free trial that lots of other platforms offer. Now understandably, as it's a free package, it is a little bit limited because it allows you to sell up to 10 products and it's limited to features that are available on the platform, which is completely understandable, but it's a great way of actually getting started with Ecwid and being able to use it in the real world to see if it's any good and it's going to work for you and your business. Now, if you want to go and try Ecwid out for yourself, you can do by going to paulschannel.com/Ecwid, and I'll also leave a link in the description so you can go and try Ecwid out for yourself. But outside of the free package, they also offer 3 paid packages, and these are the venture package, which is $15 a month, the business package, which is $35 a month, and the unlimited package, which is $99 a month. Now these prices are only if you're paying monthly. If you pay annually, you actually get the equivalent of 2 months free a year, which is quite a big saving, especially on the business and unlimited packages. That's a lot of money to be saving every year. But what is the difference between the actual packages and what you get for your money? Well, the main thing that differentiates the packages with Ecwid is the amount of products you get to list and the amount of features that are available. Unlike other platforms, they don't have transaction fees on top of like payment gateway fees, and they also don't have turnover limits either. It's just the amount of products you can sell and the amount of features that are available to you on your package. So the second thing we're going to be looking at is the features that Ecwid has to offer. Now, as I said, I'm just going to be doing a summary of the features in this video because if not, I'd be here forever and a day talking about all the different features that Ecwid has to offer. Now, in my written review, which is what you can see on screen, I have gone into the features into a lot more detail, and that's available on my website, paulschannel.com, and I will leave a link in the description below so you can go and check out the full written review, which, as I say, does cover the features in much more detail, and I'm just going to do a quick summary in this video. Now, on all the packages, you do get all of these features, which is a good selection of features to have on every single package. There's a lot of these that maybe aren't available with some other platforms out there, but one of the ones that does stand out to me is the Facebook Messenger live chat. This is in many cases a paid option on other platforms. So to be able to have live chat on your e-commerce website for $15 a month is really, really good. And it can be a great way of turning visitors into customers, as they may have a question about your product and you can answer them instantly using the live chat function. So that is a really, really good tool. But when you move up onto the business and unlimited packages, you also get these features as well, which is another set of really, really good features that can help you get even more sales. Now, outside of Ecwid's standard features, they also have their own app store. Now, this isn't cram-packed with apps like it is on, say, Shopify or BigCommerce. It doesn't have that level of apps within it, but it does have a really good selection. But unlike most app stores, unfortunately, not all these are free to use. A lot of them are paid options that you're going to have to pay on top of your Ecwid basically monthly fee. So this is something you do want to be aware of when you're installing these apps. How much is it going to cost you on a monthly basis? Because it could make Ecwid a little bit expensive a little bit quickly if you're using too many of these apps. But there are some really useful ones, and there's some really good not only features available but also integrations with third-party platforms available through the App Store. So if you're going to be checking out Ecwid, I would definitely go and look through the App Store, see if there's any features that could be useful to you and your business. So there are obviously lots of other features on Ecwid. There's a good selection of payment gateways. There's actually over 40 to choose from, which is a really good number. They don't charge any additional transaction fees, so you just pay the transaction fee for your payment gateway. You don't actually pay any transaction fees to Ecwid, which is nice. There's lots of shipping options. Now, one of the things that is really good about Ecwid shipping options is you can set local delivery rates. So if you're just a local business and you only deliver to your local area, you can set specific rates for that. You can also set in-store pickup as well, and this can be actually if you want people to come into your store, so maybe you're selling food or things like that, they can place an order and come and pick it up. They can do curbside pickup, and they can also do drive-through pickup as well. These are all great options, especially with what happened with the world in 2020. These options are very good for businesses, especially when they're serving a local community. Some really good options there. And then obviously you just have your standard kind of like shipping options, integrations with national carriers and things like that. Some really good options when it does come to shipping. But one thing I do just want to cover about the features of Ecwid is their SEO features, because in terms of marketing, Ecwid's actually pretty good, because you can have things like a Facebook shop, you can have an Instagram store. Ecwid integrates with lots of platforms and lots of sales channels, and it does make it a very good hub for managing your online business. But in terms of straight up SEO tools, there's something that does really get to me with Ecwid. Now, they do say they have advanced SEO tools, but they're actually pretty basic in a lot of ways. This is because you have very limited control over your meta information. So you can set a page and product title, but when it comes to URL, you can't create a real custom URL because it takes it from your product title. And one of the things that it does is it adds a random number to your product page. And I don't know why it does this, but for me, as somebody who is very much into SEO and likes to create nice, clean URLs, having this random number at the end of it I just don't like it personally. It's one of the little things with Ecwid that I just don't like, is this random number that it puts at the end. I could understand if it was kind of the product code that you entered. I could understand it adding that, but these are randomly generated numbers, and I don't know why it does it. But so it's just one of the things I just don't like with Ecwid's SEO. Now, other things when it comes to SEO with Ecwid is on the content creation side, it is very limited on their website builder. So there's no access to a blog function, so you can't add a blog to your site. And also you're limited to the amount of pages you can actually add to your site as well. There's no kind of custom page option. So you can add an about us, about me page, but you couldn't add something like a team page or things like that. You're very limited in terms of content creation options on the Ecwid platform. So SEO is one of the areas where it's not really that strong, even though it does have some other great marketing tools. SEO, it's really not that great. But overall, the features on Ecwid are pretty good, especially considering the price of the platform. So the third thing we're going to be looking at is how easy is the Ecwid platform to use, because to me this is a hugely important component of running an e-commerce website. You need it to be easy to use. You can have the best features in the world, but if it's difficult to use on a day-to-day basis, it's completely pointless. So how does Ecwid stack up in this sense? Well, for me, Ecwid is one of the easiest platforms to get started with and use on a day-to-day basis. I felt very comfortable using this platform from the day I signed up to it. And the reason is, and this is going to be especially important if you're integrating this with other platforms, especially Wix and WordPress, is the dashboard's going to feel very familiar because it's very similar to both WordPress and Wix in terms of the dashboard and the layout. And there's one little thing that Ecwid has done that makes it so much easier to use. And this is to do with the main navigation menu, which is a sidebar navigation, which is very similar to a lot of other platforms out there. But one of the little things I do like is they've separated all the sections into headings, and this makes it just so easy to navigate around your dashboard. So you've got all your store management here, so you've got your sales, your catalog, marketing, things like that. Then you can manage your sales channels here. Then you've got all your settings and configuration at the bottom. I just like this little separation that they do, and it just makes it so easy to move around the Ecwid dashboard. One simple little thing, but it makes life so much easier to use. But what's Ecwid like for new users? So you're just signed up to the platform. What do they do to actually help you get set up? Well, they've actually got a short to-do list, which is basically a short setup guide to help you get up and running with the Ecwid platform. Now, the first one is create an account. That one seems like a pointless option to put there, but it gives you a nice green tick to get started with. The second one shows the primary focus of the Ecwid platform, which is its integrations with other platforms. And this is because the first one is to add your store to an existing website or social network. And as I say, this is where Ecwid's primary focus is. It's more of an e-commerce tool rather than an e-commerce platform. And honestly, the integrations with some of the other platforms that are out there are absolutely fantastic. But then you've got other options on the list, which is like add your product or service, so you get your first product set up, set your regional settings up. This is really important as well because you want to know you're selling in the right currency, the right time zone, you've got your address all set up. Really good prompt there to actually get your settings configured properly. Then select a shipping method and then select a payment method, which are basically the main things you need in order to get an e-commerce store up and running. There's only one thing I would like to see added to this list, and this is a prompt to set up your website pages, primarily your terms and conditions and privacy policy, because for many countries around the world, these are now legal requirements. So it would be nice to see this prompt added. But overall, Ecwid is a very easy to use platform, and there's definitely no complaints from me when it comes to ease of use. So the fourth thing we're going to be looking at is the theme selection and customization. Now, as Ecwid isn't really primarily an e-commerce website builder, its primary focus is more integrating with other platforms, the instant builder that they offer isn't the best one in the world. I'm going to show you exactly what I mean by that. So if you go onto website, click on edit site, it'll bring up the live theme customizer. Now, one thing I do just want to say when it comes to the theme selection of Ecwid is they're not complete themes, not like you get with some other platforms. And I'll show you what I mean by that. So if we click on arrange sections, we get a nice overview of what our home page looks like, and you can see the layout, you can see exactly what it looks like. So we'll come out of that, go into themes, and we'll select another theme. As you can see, there's quite a few different options available, but I'm going to go for this one, Playroom, at the top. So we click use this theme, and it looks like it's changed the complete look and feel of the website. But if we go back onto the arrange sections, you'll see the rest of the actual homepage looks exactly the same as it did before. And this is because Ecwid's themes aren't complete themes. They're basically just different styled headers for you to use on your website. And this does make it a little bit difficult to really be able to build a custom looking website on the Ecwid platform. But you do get a few options when it comes to the layout of your homepage, because you can drag all of these options up and down. So if we dragged about to the top, it will appear at the top. So you do have some control over what your homepage looks like, and you can disable sections if you want. So if you wanted to disable about, we just do the slide toggle and it would remove that section. Now, one thing that is missing is the option to add additional sections to your homepage. You're just limited to these options here. And it would be nice to have a selection of additional sections that you can add, so you could create a really custom homepage on your site. And to apply these changes, you just click apply at the bottom, and then it will make those changes on your site. And if you want to save it, you just click save at the top. So for me, the theme selection and customization options are okay. They're not great, but they're not very bad either. They're just kind of somewhere in the middle. It's okay. Now, there are a few more things you have access to when it comes to the look and feel of your site. So if we come out of the theme customizer, go back into the Ecwid dashboard, and we actually go to design at the bottom. Now, as you can see, you can change the look of your store. And this is a selection of options for basically your categories and also your product pages as well. And it does give you a really good selection of options. So you can change the image size, how you want them to appear. You can change the aspect ratio if you want. So if you're doing something like fashion and you need a portrait image rather than a square one, you can change that. You can change how your product card is displayed on your category pages. So you can choose how you want them to be aligned, what things you want to show and what things you want to hide. But the one that really does appeal to me, and the one I think is the best, is the product page layout, because it gives you some selections as to how you display the product page. So you can decide where you want your columns to be. You do that and it just gives you a live preview here. So if we change it to that one, you can see the column moves over to the left hand side. And while this is really, really good, what I do like is, as you go down to the bottom, you can choose what options you actually want available in your sidebar. Now, this is something that isn't available on a lot of e-commerce platforms, so it's a very useful feature to have with Ecwid, and being able to choose what you want to display and what you don't want to display can make customizing the look and feel of your product pages very good. So overall, the Ecwid theme selection and customization is Okay, the main theme selection and customization options aren't that great, to be honest, but when it comes to your product pages, you do get lots of options, so it kind of does balance out a little bit. So overall, it's okay. It's not the best in the world, but it's also not the worst in the world either. So the fifth thing we're going to be looking at in this review is the store management in Ecwid. And for this, we're going to be looking at what it's like to manage your inventory and what it's like to manage your orders. So to manage your inventory, we need to go into the catalog under the store management. So I love this little thing where it's just labeled in on your navigation menu. So we go into catalog. Let's see what it's like to add a new product. Now the new add new product page actually offers a tabbed layout, and this means there's quite a few different options that you can go through when you're adding your new product. Now I do just want to make you aware, if you're using the free package or the venture package, you're not going to have all the options available that I have on my screen. This is because I'm actually on the business package, and this gives me access to all of the features when it comes to adding new products that Ecwid has to offer. But let's go through a few of these tabs. So the first one is the general tab, and this is where you add your images, your name, your SKU code, your price, things like that. So we need to add a test name, so let's call this product 1. I know that's really original, isn't it? Then you can add attributes to the product, you can add options. Now, if you're on the venture package, you won't have access to variations. You have access to options, but not variations. What's the difference between the two? Options is things like if you were selling in small, medium, and large, and you didn't need to show an additional picture for it. Variations are if you were selling a t-shirt, for example, and you wanted to show a blue one, a red one, and a green one with separate pictures. When people click on the different options, you would need the variations, and this is only available on the business and unlimited packages. It's not available on the venture package, unfortunately. Other thing you can have is files. So if you're sending a digital product, this is where you'd upload your files to. You set your taxes and shipping. You can set your SEO. Now this is something I did briefly cover in the features section. This is the advanced SEO options, but all you can set is your product title and your meta description. You don't actually get to change the URL, which is one thing that does just annoy me a little bit. But then you can set related products, and if you want to integrate this with another platform, so you wanted to list this on something like Squarespace, you will go to embed this product on your site and you'd create a buy button for it. If you're using Wix or WordPress, you don't need to worry about this because the integration is completely different. But that's what it's like to add a new product. It's a very simple page to use. It's very well laid out, and there's not too many options on each tab. This does make it really quick and really easy to use. So the next thing is organizing your products, and for this we go into categories. Leave this page, I don't want to save that. Now Ecwid uses the traditional category setup, which means you create parent and child categories. Very quick, very easy to add a new category. So you just add a root category if you want to add a parent category. If you want to add a subcategory to it, you just click on the parent category, then click add subcategory. Very easy to set a good product hierarchy for your Ecwid store. But what about when it comes to managing your inventory? So you've set all your products up, you need to go in and you need to manage your inventory. Unfortunately, Ecwid isn't that good on this feature because it doesn't have many bulk editing tools. Now, if you wanted to go in and change your pricing, your inventory, whatever it is, you're going to have to do this on a product by product basis. This is because Ecwid lacks any real bulk editing features. So if we select some of these products, the bulk update option is you can just basically enable it or disable it. There's no inventory management options or anything like that. It all has to be done on a product by product basis, which is a bit of a letdown for me, because if you've got a large product inventory, this could take you a lot of time going through changing prices, updating stock quantity. It's just something I'd like to see added to the Ecwid platform is a bulk edit feature. You can install an app to do this, but you do have to pay for it. I'd just like to see it as a native feature on the actual Ecwid platform. So that's the inventory side of things. But what about when it comes to managing your orders? Because this is hopefully somewhere where you're going to be spending a lot of time in your Ecwid store, because you're going to be getting lots of sales. So if you go into my sales, you'll see I've created a demo order, and there are lots of options when it comes to being able to manage your orders. They actually have a really good bulk editor. Why they can't do this on the products, I don't know, but on the orders it's really good. So if we actually select the product, you'll see that we can have bulk update. What we can do is we can print it, we can export it, we can change the payment status for it, and you can do this for multiple orders in one go. Or you can come over and you can actually update the order individually, and you can print the order directly from the order management page. This is really good. I really like the order management system within Ecwid. It's one of the better ones out there in a lot of ways, because it just makes it so easy to manage your orders. I just wish they'd apply this to the products as well, because it's the only thing that's really lacking from the store management is a bulk editor for the products. Otherwise, everything else is pretty good. So the sixth thing we're going to be looking at is the support options available for you as the user. And it's one of the reasons why people go with fully hosted e-commerce platforms is knowing that there's a support team they can contact should they run into any difficulties with the platform. And Ecwid do offer a variety of different options. It just depends on the package you're on as to what support options are available for you. If you're on the free package, you get email support. It's understandable. You're on the free package, you get the basic level of support. If you're on the venture package, you do also get live chat on top of the email support as well. And this is available directly from the Ecwid dashboard. If you're on the business and unlimited packages, you do get access to phone support as well, but this is only available between 2 p.m. and 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Also, if you're on the unlimited package, you do get priority support, which is just another level on top of the standard support you get with the business package. So there are some good options available. The phone support might not be ideal depending on where you live in the world with the time that it's available, but generally the support options available with Ecwid are very good, and the support team, in my experience, has always been very good in getting back to me and answering my queries. So the final thing we're going to be looking at is the hosting environment that Ecwid is run on. Now, unfortunately, I can't do my usual performance testing on Ecwid. This is because most Ecwid users are actually using Ecwid in conjunction with other platforms such as WordPress, Wix or Squarespace, rather than actually using Ecwid's instant website builder. And this means that my testing results just wouldn't be accurate, so I can't do my usual performance testing. But I have taken a look at the actual basically hosting environment that Ecwid offers, and it's very, very impressive. It's run on Amazon's Web Services, which is the largest hosting provider in the world. They also have PCI Level 1 compliant servers. They also offer a global CDN that is powered by CloudFront, which is the largest and well-known CDN providers in the world. Obviously, it's a secure checkout, and you also get unlimited bandwidth with every single package as well. So the hosting environment is very good, and from a little bit of kind of investigation work I've done with sites that are using Ecwid as their checkout provider, it hasn't had any detrimental effects to WordPress, Wix or Squarespace in terms of performance. So when you're integrating it with other platforms, it's not going to cause any negative effects when it comes to load time or performance from what I've checked out. And I've also checked that out on my demo sites as well, and I didn't see any negative effects of having Ecwid installed, and that was on WordPress. So a bonus thing I wanted to cover was Ecwid's integrations with other platforms, because it is their primary focus, as I may have already mentioned in this video, rather than being an e-commerce website builder like a lot of other e-commerce platforms. So I just wanted to go through and say what the integrations are like and the ones that I've tested out. For me, the two best ones are WordPress and Wix, and this is because it actually brings the full Ecwid dashboard into these platforms. So this dashboard here is actually available within your WordPress site or your Wix website, so you get access to all of these features directly from these dashboards. So you only have to log into your Wix site or your WordPress site to be able to use Ecwid. You don't have to manage two separate dashboards, two different logins. You can do it all from one place. Squarespace has more limited integrations. It's more of a kind of buy button integration with Squarespace, and other platforms like Joomla and Drupal, it's basically just the buy button. It doesn't offer the full integration that WordPress and Wix offer. But if you are using WordPress and Wix, I would definitely consider checking Ecwid out as an alternative to WooCommerce for WordPress and the Wix Stores app for Wix, because it is definitely a very good alternative. Now, before I give my final thoughts on Ecwid, I do just have one quick request for you. If you found this video helpful, I'd really appreciate if you would drop a like on the video. Also, if you'd like to support my channel, you can do by buying me a coffee using the link in the description, and that is very much appreciated because it does help with doing all this work when it comes to doing the reviews. So, Ecwid, is it any good? It's actually a two-part answer from me on this one. The first one is, if you're looking to build an e-commerce website from scratch, I wouldn't have Ecwid as my primary option. I think there's better options out there, especially when it comes to the website builder side of things, because the instant site builder really is quite limited in terms of features and customization. But the second part of my answer is, if you've got an existing website with something like WordPress, Wix or Squarespace, It's definitely a good option for adding e-commerce to your existing website. This is because it offers a lot of features and in many cases is a very good, or if not better, alternative to the likes of WooCommerce for WordPress or the Wix Stores app for Wix, or even Squarespace's e-commerce features that's built into the platform. In many cases, it can be a better option because it does offer a lot of features out of the gate, and the integrations with these platforms is really, really good. So say if you've got an existing website, it's definitely something you do want to consider, and you can also try it out for free, which is also a good thing. So that is my conclusion of the platform. Let's say it's a two-part answer. In one way, it's not the best option out there. In another way, it's a very good option that should be considered. So that brings me to the end of the video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you have, if you could smash that like button, I'd really appreciate it. Make sure you stay awesome, and I'll see you in the next video.